Helo, croeso, dyn ni fyw yma o Prifysgol Cymru y Dyddordeb i Sant. Welcome, we're live here from the University of Wales, Trinity St David. If you are trying to get through to us on the phone lines, please don't panic. We are very busy, but you can make your application directly to us online. The website's just showing on the screen there. Or, of course, you can speak to us via live chat or just get in contact. We are here throughout the day and our lines are open until 8 o'clock. So we've had several shows before this. We've had Di, Rogers and Delis talking about finance. Please do look back on those programmes. We've spoken about Carmarthen campus. Now this programme is all our Lampeter campus. So I'm joined by Jeremy Smith here from the Lampeter campus, our lecturers and some students, graduates by now, to speak about how special Lampeter really is. So Jeremy, what makes Lampeter so special?
It's very special. It's the oldest university in Wales. It's the third oldest in England and Wales. It was founded in 1822, and so we have our bicentenary coming up very shortly. History aside, I think the essence of Lampeter is its sense of community. Mm-hmm. It is and has a genuine collegial community feel to it, which is very rare nowadays. Many universities are big industrial type of experiences, but Lampeter is not that. It's a very close-knit community.
Mm-hmm. And it's absolutely stunning as well.
It's absolutely, I mean,
and
it's
the campus and the town are very much entwined in that sense, aren't they?
I mean, it's beautiful. It's set in the Cambrian foothills. It's you'd be hard-pressed to find a more picturesque campus, I think. But picturesque aside, it's the sense of community, I think, that absolutely makes it. Last 2 weeks, I've been to 2 alumni events, dinners and a conference. And these were students from the 1970s and 80s. And just the passion they still hold about the place is remarkable. And I think that's testament to that sense of community which just survives.
Well, let's watch a short clip to see just how special it really is.
Listen! I fell in love with my subject because of all the weird and wonderful things that the ancient people got up to.
I got passionate about history through my other passion of sport.
I was first going to study law, and then I changed my mind because I wanted to work with texts from the ancient world. I'd always been interested in languages.
My first degree was in American Studies. I came to that topic through my love of boxing, and in particular Muhammad Ali, who was my hero.
Prospective students should expect a very supportive environment.
It's one of the things that I really love about this place is how well we get to know each other.
It's about intimacy, it's about immediacy, and it's about engagement with the students.
Prospective students should expect an education that is personal to them, with classes that are there to make their interest in the subject grow.
Here at Lampeter, all our lectures are taught in small groups, so there's plenty of opportunity to discuss the ideas, to ask questions, and really develop as a philosopher.
Lampeter in one word? Real.
For me, it's home.
Rural.
Peaceful.
Safe.
Be a name and not a number, and we can actually operationalise that here in Lampeter.
My name is Aaron Jack Barry. I did Integrated Master in History. Something I found really special about my course was the opportunity to learn here and the resources that were available to us. They were pretty large, so I'm very happy with it.
I am Charlotte Allington and I am studying archaeology with forensic studies. I had been in work for quite a few years and I went straight from college to work, and I realised that I was working jobs that I didn't like just for the money, and so I decided I really wanted to do something that I actually wanted to do. So I decided to come to university to study something I enjoyed. So the best part of being a student for me has been the fact that I'm doing something I really enjoy, and it doesn't matter what we're doing at the time, it's just the lecturers make it really fun. And if you are doing a practical lesson, which we do in archaeology a lot, rather than being scared of messing something up, if something goes wrong, it just winds up being really funny because everyone's really supportive and they show you how to do it in a really easy way to understand. Advice for someone who's returning to education, I would say just make the most of the support that's there, but mostly just trust yourself because you can do it. There is a lot of support available if you don't think you can at first. The reason I chose Lampeter was when I first came here for an open day, I really felt at home. It was very different to any of the other campuses I've visited because it was much smaller and it wasn't that austere place, it was just really friendly, and that's something that really appealed to me.
Croeso nôl, welcome back. Obviously, we've been to the campus and ni'n gwybod fan mor hyfryd yw e. It's truly a beautiful campus. But we'll now go ahead and ask a bit more specific questions about the courses. I nawr mynd i'n symud mlaen I ofyn mwy am y cyrsiau penodol sydd â Llambed I gynnig. Chloe?
Okay, Alex, you lecturer modern history and then Rebecca philosophy. Yeah. Is that right? What makes the courses, what courses do you have on offer generally, and why would you recommend?
Well, we teach in the broad subject area of the humanities, and in a way that's what it says, does what it says on the tin. We study human society in all its facets from its origins right through to the present day. So I teach on modern history, so some of my modules go up till the 1980s. When I was born, I teach people who often tell me that isn't history, that's just my life when we teach that. So that's a real fun aspect of that. But also, we have a diverse mixture of different disciplines, everything from archaeology to anthropology, Chinese studies, international development,
philosophy,
English,
creative writing.
And in my subject area, we don't just teach modern history, we go right back to prehistory in the case of archaeologists, then concentrate on ancient history, ancient Greece, Rome, Egypt, the medieval period, so things like the Crusades, and then, as I say, through to the modern period, more contemporary history.
Lots of choice.
Yeah, deep. But would you say the USP, so the unique selling point for Lampeter then is humanities?
Yeah, we are a humanities campus. And that's one of the things that's unique about us. So, if there's a humanities subject that you're interested in, then we will probably have it on offer here at Lampeter.
And I think we're very interdisciplinary, that our students mix up and choose between different modules, and they all have at the same time a shared set of interests in the humanities.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned block teaching we've heard of before. Maybe Jack, and you could elaborate on that as well.
Yeah,
have you experienced
of course,
block teaching?
The block teaching was instituted between my first and second year, so I've experienced in the old system through my first year, and then into the block teaching in my second and third years, and I can say personally for me it was an improvement. It was better. I had more contact time with the lecturers. It increased by about 12 hours a month, I think it was. So it was a benefit for me because I got more time in a lecture room with the lecturers.
Shall I say a little bit about what block teaching is? So block teaching is a kind of immersive teaching method by which students study one subject at a time. So rather than studying maybe 3 different modules all at the same time, trying to go to different lecture rooms and so on, they will come in Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday and study that same module for 4 weeks. And only then will they move on to the next topic, if you like. And it's a very interactive way of teaching. We have very small groups of students, and so there is a real collegial feel between the students and the staff. We really get to know our students. It enabled us to sort of encourage all of our students to succeed, but it's a very supportive environment, isn't it?
Just if I pick up on that, I mean, 2 things there. First of all, teaching doesn't start before 10 o'clock,
good for me.
which I think has actually helped the student experience. But it's also helped the academic side, because so often, perhaps when I was teaching, students, you'd have a 9 o'clock and students would still be tired. So that's not. Yeah. But also you get a week between blocks. So you've got time to prepare for the next one as well. And I think all of that aids that academic.
I definitely found it was a benefit for me because my first year, some of my lectures were at 9 a.m. in the morning. Like I say, I'm not a morning person, so it was a bit difficult. And then some of them would finish quite late, sort of 6 at night. And in the winter, it's dark outside, and you're looking out the window, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I really want to be. I don't want to be here at the moment. So it's been a massive benefit, I think, personally. It was also a huge benefit just because in my first year, I'd have 3 modules running concurrently side by side, and I'd have to keep 3 completely different subjects often in my head going at the same time, whereas in block teaching I had 5 weeks.
So that's definitely one of the unique selling points about Lampeter. So let's find a little bit more out about block teaching.
Under our previous system of delivery, students could be taking up to 3 modules at one time. What we found with that is their attention was split between the 3 different subjects they were taking. This would mean often they were trying to prepare for assessments for 3 different subjects at one time. And we felt that that wasn't the best way to get the best from our students. When we were delivering under the old system, it could be a week in between lectures, where here we'll be seeing the students the next day. So material that we delivered, we can offer additional reading for the next day. Students can really engage in the subject, and then we can pick up the ideas the next day where they're still fresh. The advantage with this way of teaching is that because you're just teaching one group of students at a time, you can really give your focus to that group of students. You see those students for 3 hours a day for delivering lectures, However, you can be available for the rest of the day, so if they want tutorial support, if they want to discuss their essays, you can be available to them to help support them.
I think it's allowed even more opportunities for interaction and engagement, not only among themselves but also with me. So it really is the type of teaching that requires much more kind of interpersonal engagement with myself and the students, and working in groups, teamwork, thinking collaboratively. So I think it's quite advantageous actually for just developing future career skills in terms of employment. When you go in the future, you're going to need to do teamwork with lots of people.
After quite a few years of teaching in higher education, I recognised that there was a disconnect between what we were giving the students and what employers said students needed once they'd graduated. So what we were providing was quite a passive service where the student would listen to the so-called expert at the front of the lecture theatre and then would be expected to go away and absorb that to produce a piece of work much later, which typically was an essay. So employers increasingly were saying, well, it's great because they can write, but we never need somebody to answer a question for us and write an essay in that way. They might be brilliant at writing essays, but what they're not brilliant at doing is responding to the day-to-day activity of a work environment in which you might have to create a report quickly, you might have to work in a group, you might have to be able to think on your feet, you might have to be able to show the evidence of your ability to research, and certainly 100% never an essay.
The teaching now is much more intensive. We see the students in a condensed time frame, and rather than it being delivered on a weekly basis, where there's quite a gap between the students, we now see them every day. So I can go into detail much more easily and retain the students' attention. The way that the students engage with the teaching, their attention is not distracted by a kind of a week's separation.
It helps the overall student experience. I have seen students being not simply happy, right, but actually eager to go into class, eager to do work outside of class, right, because it's not something that happens next week or in 2 weeks' time. It's right there tomorrow.
The immersive teaching method is different, but it seems to be working for a majority of the people here in Lampeter. It's definitely more intense. We have more reading and stuff to do for classes and things because we have 4 lectures on the same topic a week. It's not the same situation as in my previous years at uni where we've had an entire week between classes. So we've spent a lot more time in the library or working together in groups, working towards the next day's activity stuff. It's definitely more intensive in that respect, but we're absolutely learning more.
And thus far the results are extremely encouraging. They're, I think, threefold. One is the opportunity to have a really personalised learning experience. All our teaching is delivered because of the immersive style in small groups. So very few of our lectures and seminars take place in groups higher than 20. I think the second one is a sense of collegiality. Tutors and students work very closely together because they're in a module for 4 weeks, day in, day out. And the third, I think, is to do with contact time. It's become very aware to me, having delivered lots of open days, that lots of parents and students are very aware of the tuition fee now. And I feel that we should justify that in very tangible ways to students. They're paying that money, we need to deliver high quality education and teaching.
Alexander Elliott. I did Integrated Masters History, and what I really enjoyed about the course was the ability to have one-to-one experiences with your lecturers. They're always available here to talk to you if you need help, understand the topics. Any help you need, they're always here for you, and they're always happy to do one-to-one sessions with you as well.
I'm Darren Winter. I studied MA in Celtic Studies at University of Wales, Trinity St David. It was a distance learning course, which was perfect for me because I live at home and with my family.
Hello, my name is Patricia Taylor. I've recently graduated in a Masters in Celtic Study at the University of Wales, Trinity St David in Lampeter.
I'm John MacLeod. I've just completed the MA in Celtic Studies, which I've done by distance learning.
The tutors, both here at Trinity St David, were really supportive at all layers of the course. They offer you lots of support. There is Skype sessions, so you actually do get to build up a relationship with people face to face rather than just over telephone.
It's been a fantastic course. I've really enjoyed the course. The support is excellent for distance learners. It's not the easiest thing to manage, an MA course and full-time work, but the staff here are so friendly, so positive, so encouraging. I've had a fantastic tutor and director of studies.
So there was never any issues with attaining any resources or attaining any material that I needed for a course. Feedback on any work completed, essays, dissertations, etc. was very precise, very accurate, and exactly what you need to really move your learning on.
The course is just brilliant. It just allows you to study, an area that's just fascinating in great depth, and with real experts guiding you through it. There's lots of resources online.
I thoroughly enjoyed the course. It was absolutely amazing, and I would highly recommend it to anybody that had an interest in Celtic studies or even in medieval studies.
Helo, fe enw I yw Jack Morgan. Astudiaeth fi BA Ethical and Political Studies fan hyn yn Llambed upon Steffan. Fi'n credu os byddai'n defnyddio un gair am ddano Llambed, y gair yna bydd cyfle. Mae Llambed wedi rhoi cyfle I fi I astudio, a mae fe wedi bod yn 3 blynedd grêt.
I'm Grace Allen. I've just graduated. I didn't come here through a very traditional route. I left school when I was 13 and then didn't do anything else after that. Did a couple of GCSEs and then came here to do the Access course, and I've just graduated with a 2-1 in Ethical and Political Studies. So that's not bad. I've had some fantastic opportunities at Lampeter and I've really enjoyed my time here, and I don't think I could have done it anywhere else at all. So it's been fantastic. There we are.
So Jack, you're a recent graduate. Tell us a little bit about life at Lampeter.
I recently graduated with a BA in Ethical and Political Studies from Lampeter, and it is. Like you were saying, it's a community. It's a small little place where everyone knows everybody, and it's not so much a campus as the town itself. So you're going to Lampeter campus, but there is no real distinction between the town and the campus. I find
it's right in the middle.
It's kind of everybody knows everybody. You get to know people, not just in the campus itself, which is quite international. You've got students from all over the world there, but also you get to know the people who are local. Relatively speaking, I of course was born in Carmarthen, so I'm pretty local anyway. But it's a small sort of little community. Amazing. It's quite an amazing place because you get so much to do there in terms of the societies and the different degrees there and what have you. And it's like you're saying, it is picturesque, but it also sends you around the world. Between my second and third year, I went with a university trip to China for 2 weeks. We visited Beijing and Xi'an, so it was.
Are you going to take your studies further as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'm, as I say, I've recently graduated. I can honestly, hand on heart, say that I am a far more confident person now, having gone to Lampeter for 3 years and having, stood up in front of a classroom and had to give a presentation to people. The first 2 or 3 was a little rocky, but I got through it.
What support did you have to make sure that you?
The lecturers primarily. My 2 personal tutors there were fantastic. one of which later supervised my dissertation, they were always there, and that's one of the main benefits of Lampeter. It's not just that you've got those small classroom sizes.
There's a lot of access, isn't there, between staff and students.
Those lecturers, I could email them at any time, and they would get back to me.
I mean, we spend a lot of time with our students, and although we have office hours, we almost have an open door policy, don't we? That's fostered partly through the block teaching method, but because we all get to know our students very well.
It's a scale thing. I mean, it is, it's of a particular scale that allows staff and student connections and access to really develop.
Talking about getting to know the lecturers, I remember during my first and second year, a lot of the time I would go to the philosophy colloquiums that were held at Lampeter campus. So they'd have guest speakers in from Cardiff University or Aberystwyth or Glasgow or wherever. And then after the 2 or so hours of them giving a paper, people talking about it, discussing it, we'd all go out to one of the pubs in town and sit around and have a drink and chat. And it was students and lecturers and emeritus professors and the guest lecturer, whoever turned up. And we were all there, sat in the Black Lion in Lampeter, for example, just having a drink.
So those barriers that are sometimes between students and staff at bigger universities, we don't tend to have those barriers here, do we, Jack, so much?
No, it is... Like I say, everybody does know everyone, and it is...
Some exciting times for you now, Jack.
Yes.
So good luck to you. And let's hear from one of our other graduates.
My name is Kenny Owen. I've been studying archaeology with forensic studies, and it's been a childhood dream of mine to come to university. When I was a child, there was a teenager, there was no opportunity for us to come to university, but now in my adult life, I've found the opening, and it's a dream come true. I've just graduated today with a 2-1 second-class honours with the Andrew Lawson Memorial Award, which is absolutely fantastic, which I'd never dreamed of, to be perfectly honest, and never getting this far. But there we are. It's been a successful course for me. Thoroughly enjoyed working with the lecturers on the university. And at the end of the day, what can I say but fantastic. Onwards and upwards.
I love studying archaeology, mainly because it gives you access to a society, a culture, a time that we've kind of lost track with in the 21st century.
It's finding the forgotten, which is what really appeals to me.
In archaeology, you actually you go out and you find it, and then you get to piece together history, and I think that's the most amazing thing in the world.
With the excavation, there's the first most enjoyable part is obviously the actual digging out the ground and finding artefacts that haven't been seen in hundreds or thousands of years.
And the interesting thing is you're piecing together history. You're taking the soil samples and looking what type of soils they are and trying to work out why they're like that. It's a bit like detective work. It's quite fun.
I like the lecturers here, mainly because they're really passionate, and they're passionate about you being passionate. So what's really great is when you turn up, any idea is accepted, and they're happy to talk about it at any point. They'll have a coffee with you if that's what you want to do, or you'll talk in their office.
The lecturers will come over, look at what we're doing, show us you can do it this way rather than doing it that way, and just very helpful.
Archaeology is a special subject. I mean, in no other subject you actually get to go out and find objects and find history.
I like archaeology.
I'm Matty Bennett. I did a BA in archaeology. I chose to do archaeology at Lampeter because Lampeter is such a unique and inspiring place. It's secluded enough that you get a lot of peace. There's also enough going on that you don't feel so secluded away. You don't feel like you're out away from the world. There's enough going in and there's enough going out. In graduation, I won the Leslie Charman Award, and this is an award for helping out peers and doing student-led achievements, and it wouldn't have happened if there wasn't such a great community of students here at Lampeter, so I'd like to thank everyone here for all of that.
A story from one of our recent graduates who's recently won an award, so fantastic, what an inspiration. So phone lines are busy, but don't panic, you can get in touch in several ways, and of course we can only cover a few courses here today, so go on to the website which is on the screen and have a look at all the courses that are available at Lampeter and all our other campuses. So like I said, phone lines are busy, but several ways you can get in touch.
Yeah, you can also visit the web page. However, not everyone will be 18 and applying for university at that age. Some people are older or haven't been in education for a while. Jeremy, what would you say is the best way for them to go about getting involved?
I think the structure that would work best for that sort of non-traditional student who perhaps left at 16, went out to the real world and work, and then is rethinking coming back into education, I think would be to think about a foundation programme. This is a structure that we add on to the BA, and is like an additional year before you begin your BA. And it's targeted at learning those essential skills for study. It's to help gain confidence. It's to help how to write an essay again after all that time. It's to learn about some of the terminology and the vocabulary that's used when you then go on to do a BA. And it's preparatory to a BA, so it's a perfect springboard, if you like, into a BA. And it includes all the subject areas that we cover across the humanities.
So, I mean, we were talking about the diversity of the different opportunities you get to study in different geographical and chronological contexts. And the foundation year allows you to dip your hands in and experience as much of that, and then choose what you're going to specialise as the bachelor's student.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of mature students in our classrooms. And particularly with the method of teaching we're using, we find it enriches the classroom experience.
And we've got Grace, one of our graduates now, who is an excellent example of how you can return to education.
My name's Grace. I'm a local. I've lived around here since I was about 6. It's not how you think it will be. I didn't do well in school. I didn't do well in college. I thought that I was stupid and that I could not do education. I thought a degree was not something that I could ever do in my life. Like it wasn't in my list of options. And actually it's really, really quite achievable once you've been taught how to do it, once you've been given that foundation. It's completely different how you remember school or college, or it's an environment in which you really can flourish and have your own ideas. It's a small campus and it's a very, very beautiful campus, and for me that's quite important. You have your lecturers in your small environment, you go to your library and you know the person working behind the desk, and you go for a walk around the campus and you see your lecturer and you can have a casual chat about what you might have been studying, what your concerns are. There's no waiting 3 weeks to have contact time with your lecturer. It's send an email, oh yes, I'll meet you at the coffee shop tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? It's personal and friendly.
My name's Steve Austin Drennan. I came to university through the foundation programme, went on to do an undergraduate degree in single honours philosophy, started a master's but then progressed to a PhD in philosophy. The thing that prompted me to return to education was I recognised that my children weren't taking academic life seriously at school. I'd left school at quite an early age and I thought that they were going to follow in my footsteps at one point. Returning to university helped me assist them with their schoolwork and encourage them to stay in academic life. It wasn't until I came to university that I discovered that I was dyslexic. I recognised at school that I wasn't progressing, and that's what made me quite disruptive and leave at an early age. I left school at 13. To be honest, I didn't think that I would be able to get to any level of academic study. After being tested, there was lots of support put in place. There was techniques given to me to not only help me cope with my academic life, but also real life problems. these have proved invaluable for me because they're building blocks, right? You know, they're building blocks that you can take with you throughout life. It's not just about reading a book and writing an essay. It's about going out into the workplace. It's about engaging with other people. It's about structuring how you live. Those techniques have been so valuable to me. They've been a godsend. Becoming a student was improving my level of confidence academically, being able to converse with people on a different level than I've ever done before, and it's opened my world to horizons that I didn't know were even there.
So we spoke with you guys this morning about student life in Carmarthen, because you guys are students here. Yeah. So what about student life and experience in Lampeter then?
We've had a bit of an experience. We visited Challenge Cup.
To visit Challenge Cup and play hockey and football and various sports. So we know that the sports facilities are great there, but what are the things you have to offer for experience for the students?
Well, I think one of the nice things about being on Lampeter's campus is very spacious. There's lots of green fields, and we encourage our students to make use of them in all their ways possible, really. And in addition to there being sports, there's a lot of societies that are extracurricular but are associated with the subjects that people are studying. So people who develop a passion for, say, medieval studies enter the medieval society. People who are interested in the Vikings have started up their own society. And one of the quirky and amusing things about working on Lampeter campus is when you're walking between lectures, you might often get accosted by someone who's doing a reenactment of some sort.
Jostling, yeah.
Which had to ban arms going into lectures.
Yeah, so
literally at the front door.
Students often wandering around in full armour and swords, etc. But we also have a strong international community.
Not me, but I regularly saw them. You'd walk down the campus and there'd be some knight with a sword and shield walking past.
You sort of get used to it, don't you?
You do. It becomes strangely normal. Yeah.
We should say that we also have a strong international community at Lampeter, don't we? We have a lot of international students.
Opportunities abroad?
Yes, so everyone has an opportunity to study abroad. So we have university partners in North America, on continental Europe, and in China. I mean, obviously there are some subjects that it's even more important that students get experience abroad. Chinese studies being one of them.
Classics. They go to Athens, don't they, Sicily.
In international development, we just had students who've done really amazing placements in Rwanda. We have anthropology students who have connections in Kenya and go there routinely. Every year we have a regional heritage trip. It tends to be something that focuses on a ancient history or classics topic. So people get a chance to go to places in Greece, Italy, France. And we also mentioned about the Chinese studies trip as well.
Yeah, but all our students, they all get an opportunity. All our undergraduates get an opportunity to study international field trip abroad module. So everyone will get the opportunity to go and study abroad if they want to.
Brilliant. And we've got a short clip from Miranda now, who's one of our MA Ancient History graduates.
My name is Miranda Chalmers-Cortez, and I just finished my Master's in Ancient History. And I came to Lampeter first on exchange, and I returned to do my Master's because I love the university, I love the resources it had, and I had a fantastic time here. I come from Alberta. I came from a very big university. I was actually the first student my university sent. They offered me the chance to come here as the very first student. And I thought, yeah, Wales sounds pretty cool. I've never been. I've been to Scotland and England. I might as well tick off Wales. I love castles here, and also I love the way Wales looks. I love the landscape, and parts of it remind me of home quite a bit.
My name's Lucy and I teach anthropology at the University of Wales, Trinity St David on the Lampeter campus. I'm very keen on altering education.
My name is Diana Uxon. I'm first year anthropology at UWTSD. And so as behind me is quite an odd scene. This is for our lecture, Interact with our module, Interactions with the Environment.
Today we are sorting rubbish because over the past few weeks we've been gathering all our rubbish, so things like cardboard, paper, plastic, anything we'd be considering waste, we've been collecting and bringing it here because we're studying our relationship with materials and how we perceive things that are useful to us and are not so useful.
When I first came to our class, I noticed just how practical and how engaged you want us to be into our subject. We've been in the river, we've been playing around with blocks, we've been painting, and as you can see now, we're using our own rubbish to build something, which might be quite remarkable. It's so much different from a school or college environment. You're so much more interactive when you come to do the subject. It's really something brilliant.
I'm in a situation where I can see that the world really needs people who are active and engaged and who are capable of evoking, provoking, initiating change, doing things to make the world a better place, rather than just sitting around thinking about it, and rather than just sitting around listening to or pontificating about what other people have done.
I've never had a lecturer like Lucy, never. Like, I used to do media and that was like the most practical you'd get in lessons, but this is like, you come to class and you think, some people like dread coming to class and you're like, oh, I have to sit in a lecture and take notes all the time, but here it's like, no, we're going to discuss stuff, we're going to get involved, and again, like, linked to this subject, and it's how we view everything. So we have to be very practical and hands-on, because you can't view things on behind a screen, you can't view things just taking notes.
Beautiful things happen. There's something comes out of the students and they start to provoke each other and they start to think in ways that I couldn't possibly have thought of, and the whole thing opens up, blossoms even, into something completely unexplained, unthought of, unconceived, unpreconceived, and I learn then. I learn more, they learn in incredible ways. So it's a beautiful creative process that actually surprises me genuinely on a daily basis. I really love what the students do. When the students are let free in here to guide their own lessons, they're splendid. When they're told to sit down and listen, they're bored. So, you know, actually, I'm bored too. So.
As we've mentioned in all our shows, student support and the way we support our students is a unique selling point here at the University of Wales, Trinity St David. So tell us, Jack's already touched briefly on what you offer at Lampeter, but what support is there for our students?
The support at Lampeter is second to none. It's absolutely outstanding. We have a support unit at Lampeter with specialist support tutors that specialise in a range of different things, such as mental health difficulties, learning difficulties, etc., etc. We have welfare officers, personal tutors. There's a range of support networks around students.
And
it's
that's
absolutely outstanding. That's from day one.
It's sort of kind of built into the fabric of the place.
It is,
support. Yeah. I mean, you think of Lampeter, you look at the campus and you think this is a supportive environment. Yeah. It's absolutely perfect.
And all of our students get an opportunity to have an assessment with a support tutor if they want it.
Brilliant. So let's learn a little bit more from Jess about that.
I am Jessica Staples and I am third year BA Archaeology.
Hi, I'm Sylvia and I work on the Lampeter campus with students with all sorts of needs. Some are autistic, some have dyslexia, some have got ADHD. But I think what's important about all of us on the Lampeter campus is that we're not actually interested in the labels that students have, but interested in what needs they bring to us and try and support them with those needs.
I have supported learning, so I have an SSL and I go to counselling and I also speak to the mental health advisor on campus. Well, I came to Lampeter and I thought I was just like, there was nothing ever there, thought I was just someone who naturally struggled with academic stuff, but it turns out I didn't. I actually have dyslexia, dyspraxia and ADD. And at the end the woman turned around to me and said, I'm surprised you even got into university. That's how quite severe it is, and since then, when I got set up straight away with everything.
I think it's tremendously important that students access the support that we can offer. In the past I've experienced students who've been very reluctant to come to student support, but once they've made that step, and they realise how beneficial it can be, and they often regret the time it's taken them to access the support.
I'm Bryn Regan. I am a specialist one-to-one study skills tutor. There are
many occasions when you might start working with a student in their first year or foundation year, you can see that they have struggles with, and difficulties with their literacy skills in particular, but with the backup support that we have in the department, you know, we work together as a team, and that's what's really, I think, unique around this campus. We're not a set of external providers. We all work together as a team, so we can talk with each other. If we share a student that might have difficulties not only with their literacy skills but their mental health, we can support each other to get the best outcome for that student, and that we very consistently, we're kind of watching that student progress gradually over the years, to the point whereby they come out at the end with a much better result than what they probably anticipated at the beginning.
I didn't really know much about the student support when I came to this university. When I came to this university, I fell in love with the campus straight away, so that didn't matter to me regardless. I just sort of came here. But now when I'm a student ambassador, so now when I give campus tours, when I work at student experience weekends, it's the biggest thing I sell. And because I can't emphasise it enough, I've heard about friends who've gone to other places and they've really struggled and they've not received the same type of help I have. So I know how lucky I am, and I'm just like, it is here, guys, we do care about you. You know, it's one of the few campuses where we do.
I think what we're seeing more and more frequently, and sadly, is that many universities are outsourcing their student support services. And this, in terms of the relationship between us, the student, and the staff, I think you just can't get that degree of relationship if something's outsourced. Here, the students know who we are, the lecturers know who we are, the students know where we are. Our resources are in designated rooms. We don't have to carry all our resources around in the boot of a car. And sadly, this is what's happening in many universities now. So I think this is a huge advantage here. Everyone is genuinely included in the sort of social, academic life of Lampeter. And at any time we want to, we can discuss issues with faculty staff, we can support students to discuss issues with faculty staff, and faculty staff can discuss issues with us and the students. So that means that there's a very close network of support for the student. It's not in separate silos, it's a comprehensive support package. And that's what I think students really appreciate here.
And that's about it for today, really. But like we said, we cannot cover all the courses that's on offer. We've just had a brief of some of the courses available, so thank you guys. If you do need to learn more about what we are on offer, then get on the website just shown on the screen there. Our phone lines are still open. Of course, if they're still busy, we've got live chat, so get in contact. So, guys,
before we finish for today then, do we want to just go down and ask last pieces of advice, like top tips for anyone interested in Lampeter?
Make use of the outstanding support.
Yeah, that's evident, yeah.
I'd say make sure you join one of the societies, come to our film clubs, take advantage of the fact that it's a really friendly environment.
Yeah. Wearing armour.
Yeah.
Very dangerous place, Lampeter.
Okay, my top tip is don't take our word for it, and come and see the place, experience the place in person at the open day, August the 17th.
This Saturday, yeah. And you can book on that online now from the website on the screen.
I think my top tip would be check the website and have a look at the degrees on offer, the modules that are part of that of those degrees. One of the main benefits of block teaching coming in now is that you can choose modules that maybe don't traditionally fit into the degree that you want to do. So you can do a history degree and take a philosophy module or two if you want. So you can mix and match things. If you are interested in something that maybe you weren't aware of you're interested in it to begin with when you started university, you can
have that multidisciplinary experience at Lampeter.
So if you've been inspired by today's show and you want to make an application to Lampeter, you can do that now. It'll take 15 minutes at the maximum. Of course, if you're still not unsure, then get on the phone lines, get on the web chat, and come and see these guys on Saturday at an open day. So diolch yn fawr I chi. Dewch nôl prynawn yma I deall mwy am cyrsiau Abertawe. Come back this afternoon to learn more about Swansea. Ond am nawr, diolch yn fawr.
Imagine a university set in the beautiful Welsh hills, with the amenities of a market town just a stone's throw away. A university far removed from all the pressures of urban living, where within minutes you might be walking in the Cambrian mountains or surfing along the Cardigan coast. Imagine a university where everybody knew your name, where you counted as an individual, where your voice matters, where you have the freedom to be yourself, and where you are part of a close, friendly community. Imagine a setting where a long academic tradition, stretching back 200 years, meets 21st century teaching technologies. Where an Oxbridge quad nestles side by side with modern, iconic buildings, and where studies are pursued in harmony with an historic campus environment. Imagine a university that takes your needs seriously, where you receive the support and encouragement you need, and where staff genuinely care about you and your academic progress. Imagine a university where you'll be taught in small groups, where you're on first-name terms with lecturers, where staff and students work collaboratively, sharing ideas and opinions, in a learning environment that is based on respect, cooperation, and a common love of subject. Don't just imagine this, come and join it. Come and pursue your love of subject, your love of the humanities, in a place, an atmosphere that is utterly unique. If you think you have chosen your university, then you're not thinking. Come and experience Lampeter at the University of Wales, Trinity, St David, and then decide.